Welcome back to more Sip2Tally. I'm your host, Coach Evans, and today we're going to take a look at our number 23 team on the more Sip2Tally power rankings. It is the Indianapolis Colts. Today is June 25th, 2024, and welcome back to more Sip2Tally. So let's get right into the Indianapolis Colts roster. We're going to start with their quarterback room. I have their quarterback room ranked number 23, and they drafted Anthony Richardson last year, and he only played 4 games before he got hurt. And in those 4 games, he was 50 for 84, 577 yards with 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. Now, that was an impressive 4 games for AR. Had some growing pains, but showed a lot of flash in that. Gardner Minshew came in for him and kind of led them, and they had an opportunity to make the playoffs and whatnot. But Anthony Richardson is their future, and looking for big things out of AR this year. But they brought in an insurance plan behind AR. They got the savvy veteran, the reigning comeback player of the year, which I don't think he should have won. I think that should have went to DeMar Hamlin. But I digress. Joe Flacco. Played in 5 games with the Browns, threw for over 1,600 yards, 13 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and led the Browns on a nice little run there. And then, the third guy in that room is Sam Ehlinger, and he played in 1 game, didn't have any stats. So I have their quarterback room ranked number 23, led by Anthony Richardson. Now, their running back room, even though they have or had one of the best running backs in the NFL at one point, and a guy that kind of bucked the system trying to get paid, Jonathan Taylor, I have that running back room ranked 29th. Bear with me. JT shared carries, and I don't know how healthy he is. And he's the only real guy in that room. Everybody else in that room is very, very, very subpar. And so I don't know how healthy he is. And then coming off a mediocre year, I couldn't throw them up there in the upper echelon of running back room. So I got them ranked 29th. Last year, he played in 10 games, 741 yards. And I mean, there were spurts where he looked like the old JT, but again, putting last year with my projection, and he may blow it out the water. But the other 2 guys in this room, Trey Sermon's in this room also. He played in 14 games, only had 160 yards. And then Evan Hull played in 1 game, 1 rush, 1 catch for 6 yards. So it's JT and the game. And if JT don't go off, this running back room, this running back room may not be in trouble, but it won't be because of their talent. It'll be because of the talent of another set of guys on this offensive side of the ball, and we'll get to them in a minute. Let's talk about the wide receiver room. I have their wide receiver room ranked number 14. In said wide receiver room is Michael Pittman Jr. He played 16 games, had 1,152 yards, 10.6 yards per catch, and 4 touchdowns. They also had Alex Pierce, who had 32 catches and 2 touchdowns, had a 16.1 yards per catch. Josh Downs, who's probably their number 2 last year. I don't think he'll be that this year. I think he'll be their slot guy. He played in 17 games, had 770 yards with 2 touchdowns. They drafted Adonai Mitchell, the rookie from University of Texas, one of the better receivers in the draft. They also got Ashton Dolan, who didn't have any stats last year, and they drafted Anthony Gold, a receiver from Oregon State. So this wide receiver room has a variety of receivers. They got small, shifty guys. They got some big, tall receivers. They got some athletic freaks. So with AR's arm talent and the variety of receivers that they have in this room, I think you can expect a lot out of this wide receiver room. On top of if JT can get back to what he used to be, this offense could be really, really good, especially with the talent that may be in their front line. And we'll talk about them in a minute. Again, a second mention of them, so you know what's coming when I get to them. The tight end room, number 23. A guy that I like coming out of college, Jelani Woods. He played in 15 games, had 312 yards, 12.5 yards per catch. Kylan Granson, another guy I liked, had 30 catches for 362 yards, 12.3 yards per catch and a touchdown. Mo Alley Cox, who's an athletic freak. If you don't know, Mo Alley Cox is a great basketball player too. If I'm not mistaken, Mo played basketball in college. Only 13 catches with 3 touchdowns, but again, a versatile kid. And I normally don't put a 4th tight end up there, but I had to add Will Mallory because he's from the U. Y'all know I'm a fan of the U. And I think Will Mallory adds to the room, especially when Mo Alley gets out of out of there because Mo's an older guy. If I'm not mistaken, Mo's almost in his mid-30s, if I'm not mistaken. So Mo won't be there pretty much longer if Mo even makes it this year. So I just wanted to add Will to that because of Mo's age. So Mo might not even make it this year because of he might age out. But their tight end room is ranked number 23, and they got four decent guys in there. Now, I don't think any of these guys suck. I think all those guys could contribute, and at some point, all four of these guys could contribute to the team. And you see it with their stats. All of these guys had catches. Jelani had 25, Colin had 30, Mo had 13, and Will Mallory had 18. So all four of these guys could contribute to their offense this year. Now, this is the creme de la creme on the Indianapolis Colts, the offensive line. This is their best group on the team. Their offensive line, to me, is the second best offensive line in the NFL. Left tackle, Bernard Raymond. Left guard, who I think is one of the best guards in the game, if not the best guard, Quentin Nelson. Center, Ryan Kelly. Right guard, Will Fries. Right tackle, Braden Smith. Their entire O-line returns. All five guys. Both tackles grade out over 80. And again, I think Quentin Nelson is probably one of the best guards, if not the best guard in the NFL. And I have their O-line ranked at number 2, which is one of the reasons why I think JT could have another good year. And even if he's not the shifty, great runner that he was or is, and I say is because I didn't realize how good the O-line was. So I may be overstating his ability because the O-line is so good. But I don't want to stay here too long. Let's go to the dark side. D-line edge group, which is another good group for the Colts after doing my research. I have them ranked 6. Kwity Paye played in 16 games, had 8 TFLs. 8 TFLs, 8.5 sacks. DeForest Buckner, who's another good guy up front for them, 17 games, 81 tackles, 8 sacks, 21 quarterback hits, and he was a Pro Bowler last year. They got Grover Stewart on the inside also, and they drafted Latu from UCLA. Latu was one of my favorite draft picks in this draft. He was a fun watch. He pretty much dominated everybody except for the tackle from Oregon State, and he's a great watch, man. Watching him play against USC and him chase Caleb Round was a fun watch, and I think adding him to this defense is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy, especially with DeForest Buckner pushing the middle and Kwity Paye on the other side. You get Latu, some one-on-one matchups, and if it's not those top-tier tackles, I think Latu can get some wins. I think Latu can push about 8 sacks this year as a rookie. So I have their D-line group as number 6 in the NFL, and they're a 4-3 team. So you got 4 guys up front, you got your 2 edge guys, and then you got 2 guys up the middle. So let's talk about their linebackers. You got 3 linebackers we're going to talk about. I have their room as the number 23 room. In that linebacker room, they got EJ Speed, had 102 tackles, 1 sack, 4 passes defended, 3 forced fumbles. Their guy in their linebacker room is Zaire Franklin, root to the Brewers, 179 tackles, 3 TFLs, 1.5 sacks, 6 PDs, and 2 forced fumbles. Now, EJ Speed and Zaire Franklin have their own podcast, which has nothing to do with this countdown. I just want to throw that out there, and it's pretty entertaining. Then the third guy in that group is Cameron McGraw, and he's the reason why they're not higher ranked. Because Speed is a guy. Speed's okay. Zaire Franklin is a for real dude, like motor nonstop, toughness, fly to the ball, don't miss tackles. Franklin is a guy, and then McGrone is the reason that kind of brings that group down. But it is what it is because I got to account for all 3 of them. But I got their linebacker room ranked number 23. On to the cornerback room. They got Juju Brents, 66.7% reception rate. He had 1 interception, 5 PBUs, and 3 penalties. Had 43 tackles. Keenan Moore II played in 16 games. He had 93 tackles, a 79% reception rate with 3 interceptions. And then Jalen Jones, not the Jalen Jones from the Bears. Not that one. This guy was a rookie last year. He played 17 games with a 54% reception rate, 5 PBUs, and 6 penalties. And I have that cornerback room ranked number 19. I know when you saw Jalen Jones, you thought, hold on, he played for the Bears. He's good. Not that one. It's 2 of them. And it's spelled the same way. All right, in their safety room, I have ranked 30. They got Julian Blackman and Nick Cross. Julian Blackman played in 15 games. He had 88 tackles, a 70.5% reception rate, 2 PBUs, 0 penalties, 4 interceptions. And then Nick Cross played in 17 games. He had 1 interception and a 42.9% reception rate. And so let's go through all of their rankings, and so we can add them up and divide them and see where they come out. Let me get the list here for you. All right, in the quarterback room, the Colts 23, running back 29, wide receiver 14, tight end 23, O-line second, which is their best room, D-line edge 6, linebackers 23, cornerback 19, safety 30. Add them all up and divide them. That comes out to be 18.77778, and that makes them the 23rd team on the More Sip2Tally Power Rankings. Let's take a look at their draft picks real quick. We talked about some of them already, how they're going to fit into the system. So you have Latu, who's probably going to start at defensive end, if not be heavy in the rotation on pass rush situations, on like third and long and stuff like that. Adonai Mitchell, who's definitely going to be in the rotation as far as our receivers with Pierce and what's the other kid's name? A little short kid from North Carolina. Josh Downs, Matt Gunclaves. I'm not sure how these two O-line picks are going to factor in because they have their entire O-line coming back. But Matt Gunclaves from Pittsburgh and Tanner Bortolini from Wisconsin were their next two picks. At O-line, Anthony Gold, I mentioned him earlier, a rookie from Oregon State. Jalen Carlisle, the defensive back from Missouri. Jalen Simpson, a safety from Auburn. Michael Abram, a cornerback from Marshall. And then they rounded out in round 7 with Jonah Lalu, defensive lineman from Oklahoma. So with all that said, the Indianapolis Colts are the 23rd team on the More Sip2Tally Power Rankings. Are they too high? Are they too low? Am I spot on? Am I off? I appreciate you guys for coming out. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Who's going to be number 22? And I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. Appreciate you. Peace.